I got, Trap Politics podcast on here, and I want to know about his show without any interruptions. Welcome. We gonna do this PodFam episode. We gonna talk about people and their phony friendships.
Yes.
How you put it,
Absolutely.
pro introverted society, which I like how you put it. Um, Before we get into that, tell me about your show, please.
All right. So, Trap Politics is a platform that allows people who see things with a different perspective of voice. So, today it's me, tomorrow it could be somebody else, but it's all about being able to reach one, teach one through all the traps that's been laid to deter us from our future and the politics that's being spat from liars that's trying to mislead the way. So that's the whole premise. People who see things from a alternative perspective, and that
Okay.
includes everything from the person in the mirror to the person you deal with on your job. Who's really about that life out there these days.
Okay. So when did you start the platform?
Right before COVID hit.
Okay.
Around March 20, I would say even a little before that, like November 2019, to be honest with you. The concept was coming to mind, things started to build, and yeah, that's pretty much the birth of Trap Politics, really sitting down with some peoples and putting the whole idea together.
Okay. So out of the episodes that you've done so far, could you pick out three of your favorites?
Um, Honestly, they're all pretty much my favorite because in the beginning it was such like raw honesty. Like the
Yeah.
conversation was so pure that it's like I could sit through all of them and enjoy them. Um, I would say I could go back. A lot of the stuff I did in season one with my homie Big UT when we tried Calm. I think that's episode 8. It's a good episode where we're practicing our sponsorships, like when we start getting sponsors and stuff. The episode with one of my other guests who has his own podcast too, the Struggle for Success podcast. Raymo on that side, and some of the recent episodes that we did when we covered the election, the President Trump and Biden election. Those were some pretty good episodes, and vaccines and all that. A lot of them were pretty entertaining, to say the most.
Okay. So, do you have anything currently happening with the show that's new? What I don't like is every time you're doing a show, I'm
Uh-huh.
get, I'm getting into a show. So you'll send me a link and I'm just like, well shit, I'm about to do a show. So there's no way for me to get out of it and go back into the show that you're doing. So I've watched a couple at the beginning of when you were doing shows because sometimes I might do like a 9 o'clock show or a 9:30 show, depending on like when Greg wants to do one for Wednesdays and Saturdays. But I'm just like,
Gotcha.
damn,
All right.
a whole show.
Yeah, nah, I'm very sporadic. I don't really have like a set schedule yet.
Yeah.
Very soon though, I'm definitely gonna put together like a set schedule, but I haven't really figured out exactly how I want to do it. So it's still pretty much random, but I'm definitely down to, put some things together if it works out for everybody. I would hate to step on anybody's toes also, because I like what you guys are doing on your side. I would hate to interrupt that and everything else that you're doing. You know what I mean? So, but nah, I'm definitely open to. There's a lot of things that I want to do with the Trap Politics pod and
Okay.
like the streaming. Plus, I'm working on like a series, and I got the brand going. I'm trying to diversify my portfolio
Mhm.
within the brand.
Mhm.
And a lot of this stuff kind of leads into like our topic about what we're talking about, because you just can't have all these ideas and have the wrong type of people around you, because you want to build and grow, but you might not have the accurate team, and sometimes you got to replace your teammate that might be family, or it might be a close friend. So
Mhm.
you know what I mean. Sometimes when you're building, you just gotta be on your shit.
Okay. So before we get into this topic, can you tell people where to find Chat Politics and your Twitter and your IG and all that?
Absolutely. Everything is on trappolitics.com. TRAPPOLITICS.com. And they could get everything and anything that they need. I got a blog on there too. So, I'm all over the place, but it's still concentrated at the end of the day, right at trappolitics.com. My Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything that you need. Even my email is on there. So if people drop a submission in the submission box about whatever, it goes straight to my phone. So it's like a direct line to me and everything that's going on with Trap Politics.
Perfect. I love it. All right. So the topic is very multifaceted.
By Pro Introverted Society?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like a lot of these new services and the way technology is going, a lot of the stuff that's being pumped through the media, the way we view social media, and a lot of stuff that's been happening within the psyche that doesn't make us social. A lot of debates and conflict has just came from like a lack of communication, I believe. And it seems like we don't even know how to really communicate to strangers, let alone, even we can't really communicate well to our friends, let alone strangers. So, sometimes it begs you to ask the question, you know what I'm saying? If, why all these conflicts sometimes when it comes down to friendships, and not just conflicts, it's like, why always the miscommunication sometimes? A lot of things dealing with communication, I think, has been screwed up within society. And, sometimes it goes as deep as your friends and shit like that. So that's why I was like, yo, for Introverted Society, because it's like nothing is really being said to change the narrative. The narrative have always sort of been the same.
I feel like it's because we allowed devices to take over. I think we allowed devices to decide who our friends are, who we should go hang out with, who we should like, who we should pay attention to, who we should check out, what we should listen to. If you like this, then you must like this. Check out
Right.
Yeah. These are the most suggested or most recommended, and it's the point where you're making our minds as humans handicapped. Because I remember when I lived in New York, I would purposely get on the train, keep my phone in my pocket, my purse, and look at all of the people who weren't in their phones. And it'll probably be like people on the train. That's it. Everybody's neck is bent down in their phone, or they're asleep, or you can tell like they're stressing,
Mm-hmm.
And like we can be on the train with a complete murderer or someone with a child that took a child today, and nobody would know, nobody would notice, because nobody gives a fuck to look up from their phone.
Yeah, it is that bad. It is really that bad. I take long walks without my phone just so I could break the cycle. But no, it's that bad. It's like we're lost.
And then another thing I used to do when I was in New York is I used to force myself to speak to at least 2 people a day. 2 complete strangers, whether it's like, hi, how are you? How's your day? Or I might say like something that's bothering me. It's hot as hell today, ain't it? Just to because there's a lot of people that go through a day in a big city like that and they never get talked to. It's kind of like they're fucking invisible. And when people feel invisible, they feel like they might as well not be there. And you'll never know when somebody's like on their
Very
last
true.
like, oh my God, if nobody don't talk to me today, I might as well just kill myself because it doesn't matter. Like, I don't matter. And New York, if you get all caught up in the go to work, pick up lunch, go do this, do overtime so that your boss will see that you really want the job. Do
Right.
this, get a raise. You'll never take time to be like, I literally got up at 5 a.m. and I don't stop doing shit until
Uh,
1:38. Is it fucking,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And
that's nuts.
yeah, and then with that, I think people start to lose empathy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what comes into like, making friends and people being introverted because all they can do to absorb human interaction is TV, social media, or who they see in passing. And that's not real relationships. And then if you do end up having quote unquote friends, what are y'all talking about? Y'all talking about each other's work. Y'all not talking about, how do you feel? What is it you want to do? What was exciting for you this week outside of work? Y'all not talking about that shit because y'all have to vent.
Yeah, it's definitely a disconnect, man, because without empathy, how could you really start to build on anything? At
Exactly.
least on mutual grounds anyways, because you got to feel some type of way to really start to build with someone.
Exactly. Because then this is what happens. The trust starts disappearing. I don't be around you like that. Yeah, I know of you. Yeah, I met the person you were talking to last time, but I don't know you like that. The loyalty, why does she feel like I need to like go be at work late because she's having a hard day? Why should I show up? She doesn't pay my
Right.
bill. She doesn't help me. Why should I go help him move? Don't they know that to work? Like, it's very hard over time in a society like that where you can think outside of yourself because there's so much on you to be responsible and be this human that can withstand all of the shit.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I absolutely hear exactly what you're saying. Technology have done a lot of damage. I believe I won't say more harm than good because there
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of information out there that has never been out there ever before.
Yeah.
But sometimes, it could be that flow of information. You all know so much. It's like, what are we gonna really talk about? It's like you said. Like what really can y'all vibe on if we both already know so much about everything. I mean, I would always like to take it back to the good old days when you used to really build relationships off of like-minded goals and things like that. But a lot of that shit has been eroded because of the technology and how things have came about. Not just only that, but just the ego that it pumps throughout people these days. Because aside from just being lost in the information, it's like you start to build these narratives in your mind about certain things. You know what I mean? Like this has to be success because it looks like this because you've seen it on Instagram or wherever. You know what I mean? It's like it's a lot more than that. And I believe that the more that not even like social media, just technology in general, because the way how technology operates, everything it's a overstimulus of everything. So it's definitely something to really keep in mind, man, when you really take a good look at it.
Yeah, like for me, like I don't live, up top anymore. I live in the South. But
Uh-huh.
even down here, it's hard to be like, you know what, today after work, I'm gonna go to such and such house and I'm gonna just hang
Right.
out.
Right.
The
Exactly. When
guys
have
are
you?
not like that, especially when you're fucking adulting and you have kids. There's
Oh,
no way
absolutely.
to put my kids in a car, drive in afternoon traffic, go to my friend's house for 30 minutes and hang out, and then drive all the way back home. What?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's madness. And And I wish it was like the slower time of life where you can like, oh, I want to go talk to such and such. Oh,
Mhm.
let me go buy a drink and a snack, and go knock at their door and sit on the stoop and just chill.
Yeah, I mean, even with today's kids, you don't see that at all. Even if we are encouraging them to go outside more and do certain things, it's like they don't. Not to say that they should just be hanging out with anybody's neighbor's kids or whatever the case may be, but
Yeah,
still, the ones that I mean, you just hardly see that in society at all. It's like the common ground that it takes to really start nurturing real friendships is kind of gone now. And plus too, this one wise guy back in the day told me that it's really hard to even make friends in general, like actual real friends, but you're people who you feel comfortable associating with. From there a friend would emerge if you're around the right associates, but not all associates are your friends, and vice versa days. I've seen, I mean, this is just my personal opinion on it, but
that's a whole
um
problem because people don't even know what the difference between associate and friends are.
well, yeah, exactly. uh there's definitely a huge confusion. I believe it's more men though. I think men can't really separate the two better than women can. I think women
I hate
could
that because
differentiate the better.
I hate that for men because if men really knew the quality of a good friendship, then I feel like when it comes to their engagement with women, it would be a lot more empathetic and compassionate because they understand the quality of building that shit. Men, I think men most of the time think the shit that women be up in arms about is, oh, it's
uh
not a big deal. You always tripping. Like, so what if she did that? So what if she don't talk to you? So what if you do for her and she don't do for you? So what? Go talk to somebody else. Like they don't understand like why it's such a shit show because they don't I feel like men be like, oh, you like blue too, to another man. He be like, yeah, it's cool. All right, I see you tomorrow. And then that's my boy. He like blue too. You know what I'm saying? That's not your nothing. Y'all ain't talking about shit. But that's like that be like the basis of how men, let's share our similarities and type shit. And you be elbow cool. You don't be come meet my family cool, but you be elbow cool. You know what I'm saying? Head nod
right.
cool in the office. But the reality is you can't build on that shit.
Yeah, no, I completely hear you on that. It's definitely a uphill battle for guys to really balance it too, though.
Like women be like, yeah, that's I used to work with her and I could not stand her ass. And then, you start talking every day for like a year. And then one day that girl come in like distraught. Like, girl, you can't be like that. I'll be here. Let's go to the bathroom. And then like two months start getting revealed. And then y'all start like knowing too much about each other, and then that too much about each other becomes like a real fucking bond of friendship, and you'd be like, damn, all this time I thought she was a bitch, and then you be
Uh,
like, girl, and then y'all end up like being friends because y'all had all these funky ass assumptions about each other, and somebody lets that shit fall and shows you that no, I'm a fucking human being, and then y'all start relating on shit.
yeah, no, with guys, it's definitely not this. Well, I won't say it's not the same. I definitely agree with what you're saying because the way how women bond, it's like it's on a whole nother level. Guys, though, I don't know, man. Maybe this is just me, right? I have a very uh like distant approach. Like we could play on the same team for like 3 years, win like 2 championships, and I still won't be like, yo, even though it's like I don't know. It's just hard for me to really build trustworthy relationships, man, with just people in general. I don't even just say it's, with other men. It's just like, I just don't have that patience level. Ever since, just for anybody, I was always on my own time. Like, yo, listen, I'm just trying to, maintain and get it out of here. I'm not trying to be, too cool with anybody that might cut my throat on the back end, might
Yeah.
backstab me and take my girl, which has happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's that type of dog eat dog world. So ever since those type of days, it's just been like, you know what, yo, if I'm gonna be cool with you, we got to have some type of mutual grounds, because there got to be some type of collateral in this friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like we could go, shop, whatever, get up and figure this out. I'm not about for no dude if he's getting his ass whooped. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know about jumping in. We gotta figure out, what type, are you an associate or you, because the only person I trust is myself a lot these days. And I'm not just saying that just me saying that. I'm just, it's crazy. It's a crazy world.
It is crazy in the way that people justify the shitty things that they do, and then they look up at you and be like, so
Why you
between
mad?
listen, they look at you and be like, so between, that friend that you was friends with before I did this shitty shit, and now, so which side you choosing? Come on, I'm about to buy you lunch. Which side you choosing? I'm just like, are we in 6th grade or are we like in the 30s and 40s? Like, I'm not choosing my friends over, but I did more for you on this side. So even though I was fucked up and I did this, you got to be a friend. No, if you did something wrong as your friend, I should be able to tell you, hey, that was fucked up.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
if you break up with somebody and we were all friends, you can't be like, okay, so y'all got to pick a side.
Yeah, nah, I'm not with that either. But that happens a lot, though.
Bullshit that be happening out here with people in their late 30s and 40s, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Oh no, that's high school shit, but that still happens a lot, unfortunately. I don't get that. I mean, adults are after like the age of 18, 19, you give up all that favoritism shit and whatnot. That's why nobody has ever elevated to like over just this associate level, because associates could be fired. You know what I'm saying? I could fire an associate and never talk to them again, give them their leaving papers, and listen, like, yo, you don't ever contact this number ever again.
Right.
Or pull up to this address because you are now banned from the premises because you was fired. You got demoted. It was cool being cool with you, but every time you go to the bar, throw money on the tab. You always drinking up all the alcohol, smoking all the weed,
and you bring nothing to the table.
But these are your homies, though. These are like people who, you thought you saw value in, that now you realize, like, oh nah, this can't.
Right. If I be like, oh, I got a blunt, and you be like, oh, all right, I'm
all day, every
you
day,
the greenery. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. People are too iffy, and I don't be knowing how to gauge people these days. They're too iffy, and then the people that you feel like know you enough, when you start to accomplish things and you think that a person is happy for you, and then they asked you, okay, this is the bullshit right here. They asked you to help say what they want to do, and you said, okay, I'll do it. And once you start holding them accountable for wasting their time, they flip this shit on you and be like, man, I got this and this going on. I don't have time for that right now. But didn't you ask for help? Didn't you say that you had a problem procrastinating and not getting this shit done, and you would like for me to basically be on your ass? Did you not say that? Yes, but I got this going on and it's going to have to wait till Monday. And my thing is like, people have to understand, like, remember what you're asking for.
Right,
And
right.
if you're not ready, it's okay to not be ready. But once you start being defensive of the fact that you are the one bullshitting, and then you start to like project your negative shit on some other people who you ask for help, that's when I'm just like, okay, hello,
Yeah.
hello, real feelings, hello, oh, and then I back the fuck up. And then this is an issue for people. When I back the fuck up, they want to act like, oh, it wasn't such a big deal. I don't know why you tripping. Because the little shit be a big deal at the ending result. And when I see little shit that will stop you from your solution result that you want, I let go of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the best thing I can do that's going to be smart for that situation is take heed to this person,
Right.
and just leave them the fuck alone.
It's best for your peace as well too, you know.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to like let negative energy infiltrate your positive vibes and whatnot to, you know, to make something good of yourself. You know, sometimes you gotta let rotten fruit, you know, do what it does on its own. Just definitely stay away from it. It's bad. And you know, that's one thing I've learned throughout the years. It's like, you know, sometimes taking your time away from certain people who are toxic, because you know, not everybody remains the same. Everybody got, you know, things that they got going on, but it's like sometimes if you make a promise, you got to hold on to it. And you know, also too, if it's not working out for you, at least make it be known. And yeah, definitely take your time apart.
I said I only talk one time. We got 2 messages from Nessie. Should we play
Okay.
them?
Yeah, that's what you got to say.
But I think when you're talking about friendship, it should not be like, what can you gain from that person? It should be like, what can I give to that person? So it should be like you giving more, and that should be your whole responsibility. It's like and that should be friendship, relationship, family ship, any kind of ship should be like, what can I do to better that person? And you're not only thinking about yourself. And I think that should be like, what can I do to help my sis? Is my sis in a bad position? I'm going to try to help her out, if my brother, and vice versa. So I don't think it should be like, I don't think if it's going to be anything that's going to be like, I, that's a problem. It should be like, we, they, you, like whatever it is, we're going to figure this shit out together, or I'm going to try to help you as you are.
That is correct. But what happens is one person gets used to you being, what can I do to help? Oh, this person always going to help. Oh, let me call this for help. They always come through. And then the shit starts getting lopsided.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to say as well too. Like, this is not necessarily the people you care about that you do provide for. These are the people who are presuming to be what they say that they should be, and then can't really hold their end of the bargain because they weren't really prepared to deal with what it takes to be around you, type of deal. That's one thing I was thinking about too. Like, I don't know if people really understand that when it comes down to like building a friendship with someone, there's certain responsibilities that each person required to maintain that friendship. Everybody's not like a cookie cutter type of situation where if I'm cool like this with this person, I could be the same way and be cool with that person. It's like everybody is their own individual. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that. But I think subconsciously we all kind of emulate what has always worked and then end up ruining relationships along the line because they can't seem to really figure out who they friends really are. So it's like, yeah, we may be, you know, on good grounds today, but if I'm not communicating, you know, it could really build up to the point where it's like, you know, it becomes a miscommunication, and you know, you could really start getting into some treacherous grounds. But you know, the people you know, that I'm trying to really like talk about for sure is like these type of people who, you know, pretend today and just can't seem to hold it out tomorrow.
That's right.
You know, it's like you said, they'll keep calling you for bullshit. You know, they'll keep asking you for shit, and it's cool. You could be a good person. You could be you could be there to help out whoever, however, whenever. but don't ever let anyone take that for granted at the end of the day.
Yeah. My one of my friends, he has this old friend that keeps randomly texting him. Do you have $20 I can use and such? And then he be like, yeah. And so he'll give her the $20, and then 2 days later she was like, can I borrow $10? And then he was like, why do you borrow $10 when I get $20 the other day? He was like, well, I got my check, but I just need to go cash it, so I just need $10 until I cash. And so he was like, well, just go cash your check.
No.
And she was like, look, she was like, so you ain't got $10? I said she is completely missing the point.
Fuck?
Why the fuck are you using your friends as convenience?
Right. Because you don't want to go do your thing.
That's madness to me. And there's so many people out here fake adulting like that. And you have to step out of your friend space and be like, yo, if you don't grow the fuck up and stop having to cash your checks, because everybody on earth goddamn gets deposits.
Yeah.
What are you doing in life where you can't get direct deposit? And that shit right there, I'm at an age where I can't respect anybody who is not adulting on the level that I am or higher.
Right. Yeah.
It's not because I feel like I'm better than you. It's because my tolerance and patience will not fathom anyone around my age not adulting on my level.
That's right. I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you on that. There's a lot more things that I need to really, handle than handling your responsibilities, especially those people with their hands out all the time. Trust, I know what you're saying.
Because what happens is, if you water those relationships and those friendships, they start to become a burden on you, because
absolutely,
this person from the foundation, from the core, is idling where they shouldn't be. And because they feel like they can idle, they have access to me because I'm more responsible and I can help them. But if I needed help, can I go to this person for help?
Right. Yeah. Is it an even yoke?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, after a while, you start to realize who you could balance out the struggles with. Certain people, like I said, they always drinking up all the shots at the bar. They always showing up to parties and shit that they, it's like there's just that, there's just always those type of people that
I have a great disdain for people who don't want to participate in the work potluck, but always got a plate at the work potluck. I got a disdain for people who don't want to participate in fucking barbecue, but show up and have the nerve to take plates out the motherfucking barbecue. I will fuck you up personally. Where do you get off having the audacity to do some shit like that?
Yo, and they don't see the wrongs in their character at all. They think that they doing, it's just regular shit to them. And I never get that either. The people who are just habitually line steppers. You know what I'm saying? They just...
I would be embarrassed.
Nah, I'm with you.
I was dating this guy, right? And his family was having like some type of get together or party, and I was gonna meet them for the first time, and he was late and he was rushing. I was like, let's stop somewhere so I could bring, drinks or something. I don't want to go in there empty-handed. Girl, his brother, his friends was in the car. It was like, she want to go bring something to the house for everybody, y'all. She tripping. I'm just like, who raised y'all? And it's just unfortunately there's a lot of people who aren't being raised with those manners, and
Yeah.
you have to find your tribe. You have to find your people.
Yo, there's a lot of sheep in wolf clothing.
Yes.
People pretending to be something that they ain't, just to
Yes.
snare you up and eat off your, off your plate. It's just, yeah, it's a crazy world to really find out who your who your real peoples are these days. But there's a lot of places that you could find them if you're out there looking, though. If you're really trying to make real friends, real relationships, people that's like minded, people who see the same vision.
We got 2 more messages I'm playing.
No doubt.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean men can't separate? Like I have really amazing good guy friends who I've been friends with forever, and they're the best. They're like my brothers through and through, and nothing weird ever happened. So what do you mean men can't? I think we can all separate. Like friends are friends, love interests are love interests. Somebody like, we can put somebody else on a different category of like fuck boys, fuck girls, whatever it is. It's a whole but like I am absolutely huge believer of like girls and guys can be absolute friends with nothing more, nothing less. Just be like the homies of homies.
Oh, me too. I think that can happen. But one thing that you can't do is someone enjoy the friend in a non-friend way and go back to being friends. Because once that loving gets the bussing, you can't we just cool though, right? No, there's always going to be those weird ass feelings there.
This is very true. I do. I'm not gonna say too much for most men, but I know myself and the men that I've been around. We've all always have held out for for opportunities. Not to say that every girl that we're friends with, we saw it that way.
Yeah.
But if the opportunity did arise, 99% of the times it was always gonna be a go. Unlike for girls, like a guy can't just be like, hey, I don't know. Me, I just think, personally, just a guy can't really offer himself unless it's first initiated by the girl. I mean, a guy can if they got real good game and shit like that, but I don't know. Me personally, it's just hard for me to just be like, hey, here's my dick in a box. What do you want to do with that?
What's so
You know what I'm
crazy?
saying? Like, guys can't just do that. Girls can do that, and that shit is amazing. But guys can't really do that because I don't know. Maybe because I'm a guy, I just can't see that. Maybe that's just me doing.
I like to build all my relationships off of friendships, right? And that's a pro and a con because once I get into a relationship with a man and he knows that I build my friendships, I build my relationships off of friendships with guys. Now everybody is a suspect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, no, I'm not checking for him. Like, we've known each other for 16 years, and that's not the case. Like, they've never made a move or anything like that. And it's kind of hard to have a man be so secure within himself that he takes that for what I said. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that man has to find out for himself, like, so they ain't never try to talk to you. So anytime it was like late at the office, they ain't try no move on you. No. Like, do you want me to swear on the Bible? And so it gets really, it's really cloudy.
No, it's possible. Trust. I definitely do believe that there are men out there that do that. That can hold the line, hold it in.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that every chick that I've been friends with, I've had sex with. I'm just saying, it's always been a thought in the back of the mind to be like, if there's an opportunity, yeah, I'm definitely taking it. You know, I'm saying the thought has never came across like, oh well, you know, I'm gonna ask her to see what she really thinks about this. No, it's never really like a second thought. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I'm always available, especially if you're my homegirl. Yeah, I'm whatever. It's about whatever. We
It's
whatever.
such a tricky thing to do because once you try it and that shit don't work, it's
Yeah,
like
now
for
it's weird as fuck.
I can't go back. Like even
Right, that is true. You have to know.
to
Yeah,
put
you
them
have to
back
know for
in the
sure the
friend's
coast is clear.
place, they don't understand it, and they're
Oh
just
yeah, no.
oh, you just talking to me regular now? Yes, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You know, and it's been years since I was like, oh, this one right here, worth the gamble. Like I've tried it 2 times, and I'm just like, no, I'm good money. I'm good money.
Staying away from trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Creator of your own podcast. When it comes to growing your audience, having reliable distribution, and monetizing your shows, and even having built-in cross promotion with other podcasters, it's a
There you go. There you go.
a safe place.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I've definitely made sure, you know, I never shat where I eat or anything like that either, too. So
Yeah. Like people that be telling me, like, "Oh yeah, I used to talk to this girl at my job." Are you crazy?
yeah, nope. Unless you're about to quit that job, okay.
Right.
But not if you in it. Yeah, I'm a vice president, but I'm talking to this associate that just got hired. Yeah, you out your rabbit ass mind doing all that dumb shit on the job.
Don't
You a
do that.
supervisor and you talking to the new hire, like, nah, man. Trust, that happens in Best Buy a lot back in the day when I used to work at Best Buy. A lot of funny shit like that used to happen, you know, because, you know, who wouldn't like working in a computer store and shit like that? So there's always like a whole bunch of people from college and high school and all types of, you know, young people that would be in there with all this games and TV tech. You know, it's like a tech store. You know, of course, it's gonna attract that type of a crowd. So there's managers that's overlooking shit, that's flirting with the fucking like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Is this a place of? Is this a professional environment? What the fuck is going on?
Most of the workplaces don't be professional at all. And
Nah,
then like
hell no.
you start working there and you talk to like your own manager, you be like, you know, I used to talk to such and such for a while, right? I was like, really? Out of all the women you can talk to, you chose her. So, you know, it happens, but for the
Yeah,
most part, like you were saying, I don't think friendship should feel like a full-time job.
right. Very true. Very true.
Like, because those are the friendships when they call your phone, you ignore. When they text you, you act as though like you're busy. Or you wait to respond to them when you're out and about and it sounds busy.
Yeah,
Or like once I feel like I have to start making excuses on why I can't deal with you, this is a job.
absolutely. I had to cut off 98% of my friends because of that. These motherfuckers like had the egos, they had the emotional instability. They were very narcissistic type of motherfuckers. And you know, the good books say, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. And when I looked at these motherfuckers, I was disgusted. So
Oh,
I had to get rid of all of them and start anew because these motherfuckers is not who I am, and I know who I am. I'm a man of great value and prestige. I belong in circles that talk about these type of things, not talking about, yo, I may have to go to the doctor, man. It's just been itching since I see it. Yo, nah, I don't even want to know about the rest of
ew.
the I don't even want to know the rest of the. Why are we talking? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm out of here, man. Yeah, it's been a good night, man. Thanks for the drinks. I'm gone, bro. That's it.
Oh no.
It
Yeah,
just
that's
it gets like, yeah, that's the type of circles I have to get away from. It's just like, nah, man, I'm not. Why, you know, y'all niggas is just the worst. So now that I'm in a, you know, a much better space, creative space, it's like, you know, it feels like that's where you should belong. And maybe that's, you know, It's sometimes it's good to go with your gut, like they say. If you know it ain't feeling right, it's like, yo, maybe it's just time to make a change, take a break, like you say too back earlier. You just get some peace of mind, and then really realize, is it good to really be talking to these few people that bring no value but always want you around for whatever reason they benefit off of you for? Granted, it's cool to be there sometimes, but when it becomes a full-time job, like you said, listen, man, I'm gonna answer the phone call in the middle of traffic just to be like, listen, I'm on my way.
Yes.
I'm on my way out of town. Let me call
Yes.
you back. And I'm right there by, 2 minutes from my house in the grocery, 7-Eleven or something. You know what I mean?
And you gotta hope somebody don't see you.
Oh yeah, for a fact.
Oh,
It gets that bad, and to be honest with you, it's still that bad a little bit, but all in due time. You know what I mean?
wow. I don't know, like, and this is another thing that I believe about friendships. The older you get, your friend circle is supposed to get smaller.
Yeah, because now I believe too, the reason why they say that is because you have kids. You don't want to have your kids around some of your bad habit friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to keep a cool surrounding, unless your friends have kids, and that's hard to find. A lot of my friends, past friends, anyways, got kids now. I'm one of the very few that's still holding out until I really got something good going.
Hold that thing back, okay?
Yeah.
You have time. You have time.
I haven't given up my youth yet. I always that's one thing that I scare myself with. I'm like, if I have kid, my youth is gone. I'm gonna be wrinkled in the face. My knees gonna start hurting out the blue for no reason. I'll just wake up one day and my knees are just in pain.
No, welcome. That's called welcome to your 30s. Your 30s, but hey, this is your body. Feel your body. That's all your 30s is. It's annoying, growing pain.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to skip all this shit and get to 40. You know what I'm saying? Because people say 40 is lit, and that's what I'm trying to get to. But when it comes to like your youth, that is a mindset. Parents who get to their 30s and have kids, if you feel like that's going to steal your youth, is because you are setting that up in your head. I am childish with my kids. You know what I'm saying? I purposely drink their Capri Sun. We eat similar snacks. Okay. Yes, my doctor has me on a no-carb diet. I hate her for it, but every a while, like, we do similar things. Like, oh, y'all on the trampoline today? Me too. Y'all outside today playing ball? Me too. Or what y'all want? Okay, I'm gonna make a bigger slime ball. Like, you have to you have to use your children to rejuvenate your youth, and that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, I could dig that. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. It definitely helps rekindle that childhood spirit, as they would say,
I'm definitely that mom raising my kids in the backyard.
No, and I see myself doing that too. I'm talking about like the genetics. I feel like within my body, there's the youthful vigor and energy that's keeping me young. But when I give birth, I'm giving half of that away. So now I have to cut that energy in half to give that away. I mean, my wife is doing that too. She's going to be, doing the same thing, because hopefully it'll be like that type of relationship where it's, a marriage and this, that, third, whatever. And boom, from there, we create this beautiful human being that has both of our youth, but now I have to grow old. This is such like a very fantastical imagination of how my brain works, right? So rewired and backwards. But anyways, as my energy goes out of my body, right? That's what I think is gonna happen. It's just gonna be one of those type of things. I get old as the day go on, quicker than usual. Gray hairs like everywhere. I have 0 gray hairs, and I'm not losing any of my hair, and I'm very happy with that. But my brother, though,
for me, that is not my story. I would love to find gray hairs in my head, but the Lord
No gray hairs.
no, wait. The Lord thinks He's cute, and He put my gray hairs in places where He wants to show all my wisdom. So
Uh-huh.
to say,
No.
yeah, you don't get to decide. So,
Wow.
my
No way.
best friend says the Lord put your gray hairs there because you don't use it.
No way. No way.
But
No,
yeah,
see, I haven't had. Well, not down under Australia, but
yeah.
I've I have some up top. Very few, very fine. I could
I
count them
love
on
gray
one
hair.
hand.
I love gray hair on men and women. I think it's like you got a story to tell. Like, tell me about your fucking life. Like, you got
Mhm.
gray, but
Those are the best friends. The senior citizens, the ones, well, not the senior citizens, but the ones with a lot of wisdom to tell. They're
yeah,
not gonna backstab you because they've already been backstabbed so much they know the feeling. Those
right.
are where you can find some real friends. Sometimes it's good to volunteer, go to an old folks home, chop it up with some of those vets. Sometimes, this one chick told me that she used to do that. She used to go to these old folks homes on certain days and play games and whatever. And I think
Mhm.
that's such good karma, because how many times do they really get a chance to meet somebody new besides all the people that's just, that they see every day? But at these open nights, these game nights, yeah, she said she used to just pull up there sometimes and just, play chess or checkers or whatever that they had going on and talk. And she used to get a lot of wisdom. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, man. When I was in college, I did my this paper on my grandfather, mom's dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish I still had that paper. But the things that he told me, like I was in that closet, he was building a walk closet for my aunt, and I was in that closet with him for like 3 days, just talking to him and talking to him. And I'm
Uh-huh.
just like, and only had a fifth grade education. And after fifth grade in Jamaica, he was just like, I had to work. I had to help my family and I had to work.
Right.
And he helped create 13 children with his wife. He was married for 43 years.
What the?
Uh, and he made a living. And it's shit like that people be out here not knowing and they think their life is hard. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
That's a whole fact. It's crazy. He was Jamaican?
Yeah.
See? My homegirl just told me that. She says that she's like one in, I think, 10 kids, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So, her relationship with her pops wasn't the best because of that. But
Yeah.
her mom took care of her and whatnot. And yeah, no, it's Jamaicans be having a lot of children.
Okay, this is my theory with Jamaican men.
With Jamaican men?
Yes, I have a Jamaican men, so I can say this.
Okay, okay.
I have 5 brothers, and they're all older than me. So I've witnessed. I feel like Jamaican men fuck to make sure they still can, and they create seeds. They plant seeds to make sure it still works. And there's no age on. There's no cap on that, and there's no age on that
I
because
listen.
my father and my mother procreated and had me when my father was 64 and my mother was 34.
Okay, okay.
So imagine me being 34 and having a brother and sister on my dad's side around my mother's age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sir, you did not have to be skeeting it up in a 34-year-old at your age, but you just wanted to.
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
And then I have one of my kids' dads. He has a 4-year-old sister.
Okay.
But we have a 7-year-old together.
He has a 4-year-old sister.
Yes, but we have a 7-year-old together. And this is why I'm saying, like, Jamaican men, they don't care. They are out here for the win, and the win is, does it still
You
work?
know what? Maybe they're not. Maybe it's because they're not in America. Because in America, that shit would not slide. You have all those children. You have to be able to take care of all of those children. You know, there can't be any separate type of thing going on.
I mean, it depends on if you got his paperwork together. There are men in America skating, okay?
Oh, no, I believe it.
They are skating like, what's her name? Yamaguchi. Like, there are men here, but, I think as far as like this friendship shit and people and relationships, your filter as you get older just has to get way better.
Yeah. As I've been telling people about themselves, or as I've been like really
your
people out?
You're knowing like what you can't tolerate, knowing
right.
The people you need around you, knowing like, okay, I see the signs, I know where this is headed, I can't talk to you. It has to get better because you're coming up to an age where you're not going to give a fuck. You're coming to an age where you're going to tell people straight like you think it, straight like you want to say it, and it's going to be like on some forget your feelings, let me tell you about yourself. And you can't do that while having phony friendships.
No, definitely can't.
Because I don't know about you, but I can't wait until I'm in my 60s and I can tell people off and people can't talk back to me because you can't disrespect the
elder. That's about right.
Yeah.
Yo, some of the most rudest motherfuckers are the elderly kids, man. They are like
me,
rude as shit.
I think just because you 75 and you ain't got no real teeth, I won't fight Walgreens. You know what I'm saying?
I hold the door. They just walk in, almost damn near bump you while holding the door.
Right. And then they gonna tell you
you should have
it wider. Why didn't you hold it wider? I can't wait for that shit. I'm just be in line minding other people's business. Ew, why are you buying that lipstick? You look like a whore.
It's definitely the worst to me. Now check this out though, right? But tell me this. Tell me that New York definitely do have the more shysteiest of friends than anywhere else. Not that you've been everywhere to really know, but would you say New York got a lot of shysty people who pretend to be?
Yes, because they feel like everybody's a stepping stone for something great, and they feel like everybody's irreplaceable.
Yeah, maybe because it's such a big city.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I lived in New York for 6 years, and I never dated anybody in New York because I was like, why would I ever feel like I was special among these millions of people you see every day? Like, every day you're going to see someone or something better than what I got, and I'm not about to compete with that.
Yeah, that's definitely a whole fact. That's a whole fact. I went to this one place, right? No, that's a whole fact, man. How do you want to tell this story? Because it is what you say though. It's definitely a lot of competition. There's a lot of women out here. There's a lot of beautiful everything, scenery, food, everything.
Yeah.
And the temptation is very hard. Temptation is it makes you really, stay on top of your game. It's one of those type of cities.
when I was in New York, I was team fly me out. Fly me out to the wang I know. You know, because I'm not talking to nobody over here. You must be crazy.
Nah, same here.
Yeah, I can't. We got 2 messages from.
All right, let's see what
Hey,
they're
Miss
talking
Chan. I have found a lot of my people on stereo. Just shout out to you, Chan. I did what we needed to do and told the young man that I was not attracted to.
Yeah,
Just broke it off real sweet and gentle. And yeah, it was the right thing to do. So thanks for your support.
you are welcome. Woo!
Nice.
The struggle for her. She was talking to a nice guy that she wasn't attracted to, and she had a little thought. It'd be like that.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it might hurt, but
I got a question for the young lady in the room. After you found out you were pregnant, when did the men or man start acting funny with you? Was it when you told him you was pregnant, or was it after the baby came? Great show. Keep up the good work.
Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so the first one, um, I never had plans for it to be longevity. It was like, I wasn't preventing a baby from happening, but I wasn't like forcing one to happen either. But I knew before it happened that if the child did come, I'm gonna be in here full throttle, and you gonna let me know if you want in or you don't. Like there's no half ass. You know what I'm saying? So I had I had my first kid for my mom because she's always been like sick. So this second kid, that was the Lord laughing at me and him. And because we've known each other and dealt with each other since I was 18. I'm 34.
oh wow.
And we've never had like a child scare. But I always told him when I was in my 20s, if we ever did, I'm not no woman that, kills babies because I'm just not ready. I feel like as a human being, as a woman, if you're responsible with your body and you do things that can create life, it's responsibility as long as it was something willing that you did to take care of what has happened, right?
Right.
So I think the Lord got tired of me and him and was like, you know what? Since y'all want to keep up with y'all shit, here. And once it
Wow.
happened, I think it was a lot of shock because it happened like 16 years after everything. So I think it was a lot of shock that he was going through that, your life is really going to be attached to mine now. And I think during the pregnancy, he was dealing with that because he felt a lot of responsibility. He basically had to start over. He had a 14-year-old, and now you're going to be a dad again. So I think it was like a mental struggle for him. But we're good now. Like I feel like it was hard for him because he's not used to not living with his kids.
Okay.
So he was having a hard time fathoming like what it's going to be like to have my child live with her mom and us share her, and she doesn't primarily live with me every day. And it's a control thing with him at first, but I think now we're in a good place. Like you want good
Okay.
you want good things for the kid, I want good things for the kid. We just gonna share her. So it just depends on
Okay.
people. A lot of people do switch up when you have kids. You just never know if it's gonna be good or bad.
Gotcha. Okay, that was definitely a good question. I sometimes put myself in those type of shoes to see how I could really react if I was ever hit with that type of news.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as a man, I don't know. It's I don't know how to really accept the news, especially if I wasn't expecting to have kids
Yeah.
and I was hit with that. I would definitely. I mean, I'm responsible for my actions, so I'm all for it. Plus, I was brought up Christian too, so I don't really believe in take no life. You know,
Yeah.
unless it's Plan B. But then again, I don't know. Is that a gray area or not? I can't really call
Listen,
it these
I
days.
have taken a Plan B before
And that's like the
because
day after, right? I
yes,
mean, it's
but
called the day after pill, but whatever.
but that was because it was like a blatant accident. We were using condoms and homie had the drill team, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
the shit popped. You know? So
Right.
we weren't trying to create life, and I wasn't about to be graduating looking like Barney. So I was like, hell no, we're not doing this.
Right.
So yeah, we handled that. But I just don't believe in like you're out here recklessly going ham.
Right. I could definitely dig that.
Yeah.
Definitely dig that.
Man. What haven't we talked about with friendships? I think we got most of it.
Yeah, we covered the snakes in the grass. We covered the ones who we do help out. We covered you know, the relationship aspect of it. Um Even the personal aspect of it. We covered a lot of things, you know, on top of you know, our personal things as well too, which is always a good add, you know, especially to give the people some perspective. You know, is there anything else you think that we should touch on?
Ooh. Um, can we normalize you just don't talk to that person anymore? They didn't do anything wrong. It's just you don't talk to them no more. Like this whole notion of something bad must have happened, or what happened, or how y'all fell out. We never fell out.
Right. Nah, I'm with you on that. You
Sometimes
know,
life gets you to a space where y'all just don't anymore.
I think everybody should start off. You know, maybe it's just me. Maybe this is just my business approach. Again, you know, I don't like to pump my views on other people. I just think everybody should just start off as associates. Everybody's an associate, okay? 3 strikes and whatever privileges you thought being cool with me was is now out the window. Okay?
That's
I'll be your associate. Yeah, I'll work for the company of whatever your first and last name is, as of you working for the company like me. We both bring benefits when we get employed. So hey, let's start there as a relationship and then see how we could elevate our statuses along the way. You know, the more time you invest in someone, the better you get to know someone. In turn, the more you know how you both could benefit each other. You know, so it's never just, you know, you're just applying it randomly. It's like, nah, I think I could. This job seems like it could fit me. This seems like I might be able to work out. But you know, do people really have the time to invest? And you know, and at the end of the day, you know, it's definitely best to start from a safe point. Me personally, that's how I look at certain things. Yeah, at
yeah.
my age, maybe when you're younger and you have more of a deeper connection, you could build that bond earlier. You know, let's say that you're 16, 15, maybe 14 or whatever. You might be able to build a bond a little quicker because, you know, you guys are young. You guys are more pure, have more pure intention. And when you get old and you learn the tricks of the trade of how to lie, manipulate, learn about white and gray lies, and you know, all types of funny gizmodo bullshit that really gets people fucked up. You know what I mean? In the game these days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all those type of backstabbing lies. You know what I'm saying?
They
Those grown up lies.
somewhere to take your place, the next terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like it. Yeah. That's just what, you know, my POV on things. There are genuine people out there. Just gotta find your herd. You know, like you mentioned before, find that good safe ground, and then, you know, you might be able to move up that ladder from associate to best friend very soon. You know, if you build those relationships, and that's one thing too that I'm learning, building relationships. So, I guess it's just a learning process, huh? Friendships and all the above. It's an uphill battle. It's never over, but it doesn't have to feel like a burden. Would you say that pretty much sums up a good point POV?
I want more. If I get more friends, I want more friends to tell me the shit I don't want to hear.
They'll tell you things that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I'm with that too. I've always encouraged my friends to do that. But the only problem is when I do that back to them, I'm hurting their feelings. I'm talking shit about them. It's like, bro, you know, it's like, why you got to be so negative? And trust me, there's some things by constructive criticism and always shooting down an idea. Like if a person always comes to you with great ideas, and I'm not talking about like once in a while, I'm talking about always, 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 and you're always talking negative, negative, negative about it. It's more not the ideas, but your feelings towards him because of these ideas or whatever the case may be. You know, it's like you got to kind of find the people who could encourage your growth on what you want to do instead of just trying to be negative all the time and shit like that.
That's a fact. Well, I enjoyed this. Was good.
Me too. I think, you know, a lot of stress came out.
Yes.
A healing conversation. That's one thing I knew today was going to be.
Yes, I saw that you put that healing. Healing. And a little bit of
I don't want people to feel like we're attacking them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want people to get into their emotions. It's like, listen, this is just a healing conversation. Two people with, you know, their point of views on friendship and what it's all about. Nobody's saying this is in stone, you know, you know, humans are different no matter, you know, what types of walks of life you come across them at. So we got one more message down there. You trying to read? You trying to hear what they got to say before we break on out?
Yes, it's Brianna. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we have our little reality show on Bravo over here because there's been so many like fallings out and just iratenesses. It's mainly the females on here, but I can't lie, it is entertaining. But I'm pretty calm. I don't really participate in those kind of chit chats on here, but I do have mostly male friends. I am a rational female, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't get into the stereo beef. Like, what?
Stereo beef. See, this is some new next level thing we're going to have to talk about on another episode, but I have no idea about this.
I come on here and I do shows and I get off. Like, I don't.
There's people clicking up, calling themselves all types of crew names and only doing broadcasts with certain broadcasters with hashtags in their names and shit like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of that going on.
See? Man. It's wild out here. It's the Wild West. The digital era really is the Wild West. Everybody's trying to get it.
I can't. So when's your next episode?
Trap Politics Live will be on probably tomorrow, most likely. Gonna dig into some topics, try to you know, speak some truth. The audience have been kind of fleeting, so I gotta find a new way to garner like more attention, more shock value titles. So I don't know. Tomorrow though, it's definitely gonna be a good one because I'm definitely gonna do some research and seeing what I can do. So
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you know me, dropping another one probably Wednesday.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. Any teasers you want to give to people? Any topics that you possibly will talk about?
Topic for Wednesday. I think it's forgetting.
It's what? It's what you said?
Forgetting.
Oh, forgetting. Okay.
Yeah. That could be a lot of things. But
all right. Well, it's definitely been a pleasure, and I thank you again for the invite. You know, we definitely got to do this again for sure.